What's up, Jets Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Juicy Jet Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Rooney, and we are going streaking in the quad. Everybody's invited because the New York Jets have won 2 games in a row and haven't lost in over 3 weeks. So there is a lot to talk about as the New York Jets defeat the Cleveland Browns 27-20, and we're going to do a really quick recap episode because, believe it or not, we have another football game in 3 days. So happy Victory Monday, and I'm excited to be here chatting with everybody. But let's talk a little bit about this game. We walked into this game saying this was the battle of the bottom. It was 2 teams that, are really struggling this year. The Browns were 2-6 coming into this game. We were 1-7, and it just felt like 2 offenses that had horrible quarterback situations and really have been struggling to move the ball. The Jets obviously coming off a big offensive performance against the Cincinnati Bengals, but then a 2-week layoff to kind of sit around and wait and see what happens. The Browns obviously trading out Joe Flacco, bringing in Dylan Gabriel, and we said it beforehand, this might be the one game where we actually have the better quarterback going into a football game. And it turned out we don't have the better quarterback. Our quarterback did not play well, and neither did the Browns quarterback in Dylan Gabriel. So let's talk all about it. This was one of those games where it was kind of boring. And of course it was raining. Of course there was maybe 15 to 20,000 fans. And it's just what you expect out of Jets-Browns. There's really not a lot of fireworks that you're expecting to see. The fact that the score was even 27-20 was a lot more points than I expected in the first place. So let's talk all about the start of the game, because obviously this was a really important game for the New York Jets, not only because of the actual football being played on the field, but because they were going in and honoring Nick Mangold. Now, I want to give the Jets a lot of props because they really only had 2 weeks to put something nice together for this guy and for his family, and I think they did a really great job. You walk into the stadium, and the padding and walls around the outside of the field were all decked out in 74s. It was Nick Mangold's face was all over the place, which was really cool. And then when we walked in, we probably got the best giveaway we've ever gotten as a Jet fan. Normally you walk into the game and you get like a light up wristband, or you get a flag or a towel. And it's like the most boring thing you can ever imagine that you're never going to use ever again. But in this game, we got a t-shirt with Nick Mangold's face on it, with his backward hat and his aviator sunglasses with the big beard. And it just made a lot of sense. Like, obviously, it's not the best material of a T-shirt you're ever going to get in your life, but it was a really nice takeaway from a game like that, especially since he's so beloved by this entire fan base and organization. So I thought that was really nice. Another piece to it, too, is they did a nice moment of silence for Nick Mangold at the beginning of the game, and actually a guy that I didn't expect. DeBrickashaw Ferguson actually came and gave a little speech about his friend Nick Mangold. Now, I don't know why, but he didn't say anything on social media like right after it happened, so I was like, are they not friends anymore? I think Rich Cimini actually hinted at them, like, growing apart as, football ended and all that kind of stuff, and I get it. Like, DeBrickashaw Ferguson went on to do other things outside of football, while Nick Mangold is, like, coaching high school and stuff like that, so maybe they just went different directions, which is totally fine. But to see him, DeBrickashaw, stand up there and give a speech about his old lineman mate was really great. And they had Nick's wife, kids out on the field doing the coin toss. So I thought they just did a really nice job of honoring him. And then at one point in the middle of the game, they had everybody stand up, and they showed a clip of Nick Mangold's Ring of Honor speech where he had the backwards hat and he cracked a beer and drank it with the fans. And they had us stand up and do that as well. So they had all the fans stand up. We put our hats on backward and gave a little cheers to Nick Mangold. So I thought the New York Jets did a really nice job for an organization that really mishandles a lot of really awkward situations and things that happen, especially around the fans and around former players. I thought they did a really nice job with this one. Now the next great step is, does this guy get in the Hall of Fame? Do we retire his number? I don't know. Maybe none of those things happen. I hope he gets into the Hall of Fame one day, but it was a nice way to honor his legacy. So that was the Nick Mangold, of it all to start this game. So now we get into the game, and this is kind of what you expected. Both offenses just go backward on the first drives I think the Browns went 3 and out. We go 3 and out, and it's kind of back and forth. I would say the big turning points, the Browns marched right down the field, and it's really a lot of it is because of penalties. I thought Jarvis Brownlee had a pretty rough game. It was the worst game he's played with us so far on defense, and this is all without Sauce Gardner, without Quincy Williams being benched for a part of the game. So Jarvis, he had a rough go of it, and ends up giving up a touchdown pass to David Njoku in the back of the end zone. Or actually, it was a short dump-off pass that Njoku ran into the end zone for the Browns to go up 7-0. From there is where the magic happened. So the Jets have had no yards of offense so far, and Justin Fields completed 2 passes behind the line of scrimmage. So we haven't gained any yards yet. On the kickoff, Kene Nwangwu, a guy that we've talked about so many times as one of the best kick returners in the league, but he can never stay on the field, takes one the distance. And I'm not even kidding you. I was like Nostradamus in this game. That's what it felt like. I called that right from the beginning. I was like, this time, he's taking one. And he takes it 99 yards to the house for the Jets' first score. So it's 7-7, just like that. And Justin Fields doesn't have to see the field. It's the best part about this whole situation is you didn't have to have the offense go out on the field. And then what happens? The Browns, I think they went 3 and out or something like that right afterward. They punt the ball to Isaiah Williams. Isaiah Williams returns a kick. So back-to-back special teams touchdowns. Isaiah Williams was 74 yards into the end zone for a score. So major shout out to the special teams. Chris Banjo is doing an unbelievable job. I mean, Kene Nwangwu getting a touchdown was something that's expected. The turnaround for Isaiah Williams, going from a guy that I wanted off the roster to now this redemption arc that people are going to love, going from, he had a great offensive performance and a good return game, special teams player of the week against the Bengals, and then he comes out and he returns a touchdown on a punt, and he had a good rest of the game too. So shout out to Isaiah Williams, and of course, doing the Jets airplane in the end zone after he scores, you're going to win a lot of fans over by doing something like that. So props to him, incredible game, and we're up 14-7 without Justin Fields getting a first down in the first quarter. I don't think we got our first down to midway through the second, which is absolutely crazy. So special teams gets an A++. They won us this game. Without special teams, we wouldn't be where we're at. I want to give a shout out to Nick Folk, who still has not missed a kick this entire year. He's unbelievable. He's 40 years old, and he's still putting them right through the uprights. He's kicking late 40-yarders, 50-yarders. He's awesome. Good for him. I hope he sticks around for the future because, man, he is so solid. He is so great. I hope he doesn't retire because it's nice to not have to worry about kicker. And then Austin McNamara, another great game by him too, where a day where the offense could not move the ball at all. We had to punt a good amount in the rain. He's pinning people down inside the 5 with Quantez Stigers making the play to catch the ball inside the 5-yard line. He was awesome. I mean, he's got to be an all-pro punter. I don't know anyone in the league who's punting better than this guy. He had a 50-yard average, 5 punts, 249 yards. His long was a 55. Oh, man. It's just unbelievable, this special teams. So very excited about that. And they're not giving up big returns either, which is another good sign. All right, on to who do we want to go to next? Let's go to the defense. I think the defense had an okay game. I think, I don't know how this is possible, but for some reason this defense cannot get a turnover for the life of them. I mean, there was one play where literally Dylan Gabriel threw the ball and it hit Jarvis Brownlee in the face. Square in the face mask, and he couldn't pick it off. So I just think we're destined to not have an interception. We are, 9 weeks into the season? What are we, 2-7? So we're 9 games into the season, and we do not have a pick. The longest streak is 10 to start a year. It was the Raiders a couple of years back. So can we please get one? And, we're coming up against Drake May. So, he's young, so maybe he'll throw us one, but he's playing MVP caliber level, so I don't know. We'll see, but it's really unbelievable that we cannot get a turnover. I want to give huge shout-outs. Finally, the pass rush came alive in this game. And I get it, Dylan Gabriel sucks. He's not a good quarterback. I don't understand the Browns' willingness to keep him in the game when he just doesn't have it. And he made a couple, he made a nice throw to Jerry Jeudy in the end zone for a touchdown, which was totally fine. That was after horrible pick six from Justin Fields. We'll talk about that though. Not pick six, just a pick from Justin Fields. But the pass rush just came alive. Shout out to Will McDonald. 4 sacks on the day. Jermaine Johnson gets a sack, and so does Quincy Williams. Just an unbelievable performance from Will McDonald. And we've been waiting for that all year. And he was a guy who I predicted at the beginning of this year to be one of the next great pass rushers in the NFL, but we haven't put him in a good situation to rush the passer because we're never winning games. So finally we're winning, and we're able to take advantage there. So shout out to him. I also want to give that shout out to Quincy Williams. So Quincy comes into this game, and he's benched to start the game. He plays a couple plays after that in the second series. He kind of comes out again, and then eventually they put him back in permanently. He was playing with his hair on fire. And for him to come out and play like that after getting benched, after being involved in trade rumors, after his brother gets traded, awesome job by Quincy Williams. I still don't know if he gets re-signed with us, but it's fun watching him play when he's on, and it feels like he was on in this game. And that sack he had, he gets chipped by the tight end, and then he goes square up against the right tackle, and it looks like the right tackle could have been falling down, but just bowls right into him, knocks him right over. And Quincy Williams is not a big guy. He's pretty small, and then gets the sack. So it's just his speed, his decisiveness when he's like, I'm going to go and sprint, he does it, and it looks great. I want to give another shout out to Jamie Sherwood. I thought he had a pretty good game as well. I thought he bounced back, played the run really well. I thought Jawan Briggs had a really nice game. I feel really bad as R.A. Thomas. He gets called for a pass interference on a deep shot down the right side. I don't think it was pass interference. That was very ticky-tacky. And then, unfortunately, Jamie Sherwood launches, like if this was college football, this was targeting against your own guy, launches off his feet and just puts the top of his helmet right into the chin of Zaire Thomas. It was a very scary situation. He gets knocked out. He's not moving. And then eventually, I don't know how, he just walks off the field because they had the stretcher out and everything like that. So that was scary. But I thought the corners played pretty well. Isaiah Oliver actually got involved in the game a good amount. Tony Adams obviously had to play a lot. So did Malachi Moore. I mean, I don't know. I guess Brandon Stevens was okay. Like, he gave up that deep pass for a touchdown in the end zone, which I didn't love. I think he should be better than Jerry Jeudy. I don't think Jerry Jeudy's that good. But so that was interesting. Who else do I want to give a shout out to? I thought Harrison Phillips was okay. I think we stopped the run the best we possibly could, knowing that they couldn't throw it all. Judkins still had 75 yards. Gabriel ran a lot more than I thought. I think we gave up like 150 yards rushing. But in my mind, I think the game plan was stop the tight ends and we'll deal with the running. Like, that was the same thing that we did with the Bengals. Stop Jamar Chase, stop T. Higgins, and we'll worry about the run game later. And I think that's kind of what they did today, or yesterday. So, we'll take it. We'll take it. So that was the defense. I'm trying to look through, see if there was anyone else I want to give a shout out to. Dean Clark got some play, which was interesting. It was good to see him out there. I think that's pretty much it on the defense. So defense has a big test coming up with the New England Patriots, who are one of the best teams in football. But we'll talk about that either tomorrow or Wednesday before the game. So, they're going to need to get ready to roll against them. All right, let's go to the offense. Brutal. We were, at halftime, we had -5 passing yards and 14 points. It's insane. No, we had more than that. We had 17 points. 17 points, -5 passing yards. I think Justin Fields was 3 for 6 or 2 for 6 at that point. Absolutely awful. This guy, I mean, I don't understand the variance that he has. I know that the Bengals have a horrible defense, and I know the Browns have a really good defense. But how do you go from the game he had, where we had 500 yards of offense, to this game where we threw for 40 yards, and they all came on one play? The guy can't see the field. That interception he threw was... It's like his eyes were closed on that one. He probably was in the huddle and was like, I need to be aggressive because I'm not completing any passes. I'm just going to throw it to Garrett wherever he is, and I'm not even going to look, because he didn't look at all. We saw it from a mile away. My dad called it while he was dropping back. So it was just a disaster from Justin Fields. Now for me, if this wasn't a short week, actually I don't know. I'm very conflicted in my response here. I think no matter what, I think Tyrod Taylor should start. But because it's a short week, I think it's going to be really tough for them to put him in. I think they'd rather keep the continuity since we have 2 wins in a row now and go with Fields. But man, he looks really awful. I think there was a stat going around saying that in the entire Jets history, there's been like multiple times where quarterbacks have gotten under 50 yards passing in a game. It happened once with Rodgers. It happened 2 times with Zach Wilson. It happened once with someone else. And in 8 games that Justin Fields has played, it's happened 4 times already. How is that possible? This is the NFL. It's crazy. And then when he's using his feet, he doesn't even look like he's making the right decisions when he's running. I think he only had 7 carries for 28 yards. Like that's nothing. Dylan Gabriel ran for more yards than we did. And Dylan Gabriel's like 5'6" running around out there. So I don't know. It's really tough. Aaron Glenn's got a tough decision ahead of him, and we're not going to know the answer to it until Thursday, which is really brutal. But I don't know how you can continue to roll Justin Fields out there when he just cannot throw the ball down the field at all. It's really disappointing coming off the bye week and coming off, a good game against the Bengals. So I don't know. We'll see what we do, but I would go Tyrod Taylor. I can understand if they don't do it because it's a Thursday night game, but the week after that against the Ravens, I think you go to Tyrod. So that's that. I want to give a huge shout out to Breece Hall. Another really great game. There were places where I did not see yards, and he made yards out of those carries. So really incredible job by him. Of course, his long touchdown screen pass was a great play call, well timed. Justin Fields got leveled on that play as well, and there was great blocking out in front. I saw Josh Myers sprinting down the field with him, which was actually really funny to watch. So great job by Breece Hall. Another awesome game. Scored another touchdown. It's great to see. He's, now that we didn't trade him, he's one you got to extend. Like, there's no reason to let him go for nothing. So if we're going to have a rookie quarterback next year, and Justin Fields is not the guy, we know that, got to have some weapons for him. So I think it's going to be the Breece Hall show for the rest of the year, and we'll see how it goes. So shout out to him. None of the other receivers really got involved. Garrett had 0 catches, and unfortunately he goes down with a sprained knee, so he missed most of the second half. Sounds like he's going to miss 3 to 4 weeks with that sprained knee. My thing is, yes, that sucks, but get him healthy. Let's get him back later in the year, or have him just sit out the rest of the year. I don't care. This year's over. Let's, save him for next year when we have a rookie quarterback. In my mind, it sucks because he's like on this amazing streak of 1,000 yards and 80 catches every year that only like 5 other receivers have ever done. And it sounds like he's not going to get that this year. But it's a bummer, but I'd rather him be healthy for the future. So sucks there. I mean, I don't even know who else to shout out from the receiving core because Justin Fields couldn't throw the ball. And he just stands back there and takes sacks when he doesn't need to because he doesn't let it go. He doesn't let it rip. And when he does let it rip, he puts it in bad spots. Like there was one play to Mason Taylor in the flat. If you put it out in front of him and he catches it, he's sprinting down the sideline. I think this was in the second quarter, maybe the first quarter. And the defender, since he threw it a little behind him, the defender was like 4 yards ahead of Mason Taylor and was able to get his hand up and knock it down because he didn't throw it in front of him. So it's just plays like that just drive you insane. I know they also tried a end around with John Mechie. He lost like 10 yards on the play. I mean, it was cool to see him on the field. It was sad we didn't get to see A.D. Mitchell. So, the young guys that we just traded for didn't really make any impact. So, yeah, I don't really know what to say about the offense anymore. There's just nothing there with Justin Fields in a game like this, especially when Garrett has to go out. So it's tough to judge. I think you look ahead to the Patriot game. If it's not Tyrod Taylor, we're just going to run the ball like crazy and see if the Patriots defense can stop us. That's really the only way. So I give an F to Justin Fields. The rest of the offense, I give an incomplete, except for Breece Hall. He played pretty well. Ooh, a big shout out to the offensive line. I thought the offensive line had a really good game, even though Justin Fields got sacked a few times. I don't really blame the offensive line for some of those. I think there was one where Olu got beat by Myles Garrett, which that's going to happen. He's the best defensive player in football, arguably. But man, Membu locked down his side. Olu played a really great game after that. I thought the guards played really well. Obviously, Myers was doing all right. I think there were a couple penalties that were iffy, but otherwise I thought they played an awesome game. And I'm really excited about these tackles. These tackles are they're legit NFL players, and I think they're going to be very good to elite starters over the next few years. And I'm really pumped we don't have to take a tackle in these upcoming drafts. So it's nice to have those spots locked down. It was also amazing to see on the last play of the game where it's 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and all the Jets are trying to do is draw the Browns off sides so that they can give them the ball back, and the Browns could potentially go down the field and score and tie the game up. And one of the Browns players jumps offside for us to win the game, and immediately they all start dancing. It's Tippmann's pointing forward for the first down. Membu was doing some hilarious dance. I don't know what's going on, but it was so funny. You got John Simpson was dancing on the other side, so it was really cool to see, and I was really happy for the big uglies up front. They played a heck of a game. Now, finally, last thing I want to talk about is the coaching. You didn't jet the way you normally jet. The Browns jetted. They outjetted us, and that's how they lost this game, by stupid plays and penalties. And for us, I give a lot of props to Aaron Glenn. Not a lot of coaches around here win after the bye, and somehow you made it happen. I don't care that the opponent was the Browns. You made it happen, and you won a game at home after the bye in the rain when the offense just didn't have it. So the resilience to get over the Justin Fields issues, I thought was really prominent. I felt like there was a lot of energy out there. The guy seemed ready to play. It was, I give him props to him. I think he's done a lot better job. There were some plays where I was like, oh, should we go for it on this 4th down? But since the offense had nothing, I have no problem with him saying, we're just going to punt. We have a weapon at punter, so we're just going to continue to do that. So big props to Aaron Glenn. That's 2 wins for him, 2 in a row. You'll love to see it. Now we got a really big, tough test on Thursday night in Foxborough against the surging Patriots. I think they won 5 games in a row or something like that, 6 games in a row. They're 8-2, the hottest team in football. They just beat the Buccaneers. They've already beat the Bills this year. They're a really good team, and Drake May is an MVP candidate. So this is going to be a really, really big test. Because it's a short week, you never know. Anything can happen. But with no Garrett, obviously no Quinnen, no Sauce, none of those guys, no Michael Carter, it's we'll see. But hey, we've been winning games these last 2 weeks without those guys, and we'll see if we can do it again. So I'll do a preview pod maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, because I have to travel up to Foxborough, obviously, so I got to make time for that. But the New York Jets, 2-0 in the last 3 weeks. You cannot complain. And for all the fans out there that are constantly yelling at me that, oh, this team can't even lose right. Oh, boo-hoo, we need to lose. We're not going to get the right pick. Who cares? You've been losing for so long. Be excited that your team is winning a game. Look at the best quarterbacks in football right now. None of them were number 1 picks in the draft. Patrick Mahomes, not a number 1 pick. Josh Allen, not a number 1 pick. Lamar Jackson, not a number 1 pick. Justin Herbert playing great, not a number 1 pick. Aaron Rodgers, not a number 1 pick. If you have a quarterback that you want to get, we have the arsenal to go get them, or sit put and find the guy that makes the most sense. So I am not in the mindset of let's lose out. We are naturally going to lose games. We tried everything possible to lose this game. We had -5 yards passing at halftime. Our quarterback was 6 for 11 for 50 yards, and they all came on one play, a 42-yard pass, screen pass. I think he only completed 2 passes beyond the line of scrimmage the entire game. That means he was really 2 for 11. You couldn't have tried to lose harder. And the fact that we won is a miracle. So for everyone complaining about this, saying they got to try to lose, there's no such thing as trying to lose. If the team is bad, they're going to lose. And they played really bad, but they somehow still came out on top because the Browns played worse. I don't understand the Browns coaching decision to not put in Shadur when Dylan Gabriel obviously can't play. But you cannot be upset that the team is winning when you have a new head coach. You're trying to build a new culture. We've got a new general manager. We've got a lot of young players that need to keep that winning feeling going. I am not mad about winning these football games because it never works out when we try to tank. We've been trying to tank for years. It never works out. So I'm going to continue rooting for wins. And guess what? We're going to lose a lot of games. But I'd like to see us win a couple more, especially against the teams that we should win against, like the Saints, like the Dolphins. Can you beat the Falcons when they come to your place? Because they're a weird team. we'll see how it goes. But even the Jaguars, they're not that great this year. They don't look that great. So I get it. Everyone wants, you can root any way you want to root. It's not actually going to help the team either way. So it doesn't matter. If you want to be sad that your team is winning, then maybe stop watching and stop interacting with content because you're just, I don't understand what you're trying to do. If you want to interact and say, well, the reason why I want to lose is because I want this quarterback. I think he's the best one in the draft. I'm nervous that the Titans are going to take him. Well, guess what? They're probably not. But yeah, I'll take that argument instead of, oh, we got to watch them lose. No, we don't. We need to start winning. It's time to start winning and stop this losing attitude. Sorry, that was a rant. I get annoyed by, trust me, I was young. I rooted for losses in the past. This is not that kind of team. We need to start winning. All right. What I'll do is I will do another episode later this week on what the Patriot game is going to look like. And let's see. Can we win another game? Pull off some miracles? I don't know. Thursday Night Football gets weird when it's divisional. It's the rivalry matchup. They're going to have their weird jerseys on. So let's see how it goes. But thank you all for listening. Once again, you can like, rate, subscribe, review all across any of the social platforms on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, JuicyJet25. I really appreciate the support. I'm very excited to have another Victory Monday. I'm very excited to go see another Jets game in a few days. And yeah, I'm going to talk to everybody soon and appreciate it. Go Jets, baby.